So your pediatrician prescribed Miralax and you told it was safe. But a couple weeks in, you've noticed mood swings, meltdowns, anxiety, or behavior changes. This video is for you. Now, let me be clear. This is not about attacking your pediatrician. Constipation is incredibly common in kids. And of course, we all want to do something about it because it can be miserable. In fact, it affects up to 30% of children worldwide. And Miralax is often prescribed as the first line solution. But here's what many parents don't realize and what you haven't been told. Miralax is not FDA approved for children under the age of 17. Pediatric use is considered off-label. It's considered experimental. And over the years, the FDA has received reports of neuropsychiatric side effects in children, things like anxiety, aggression, mood swings, even OCD type behaviors with Miralax. Now, that doesn't mean Miralax causes this in every child. It doesn't. But what it does do is it means we need to ask better questions because could it? Yes. And it's not designed and labeled to be given under kids under the age of 17. So who this is for specifically families who parents have tried everything, whose kids were on Miralax long-term, who feel like they're stuck in a constipation cycle for you or your child or your kiddos. Parents noticing behavioral changes that they just can't explain. Parents who want to understand root cause instead of symptom control. Instead of just drugging it, they want to get to the root cause of what's going on. We always joke in chiropractic that DC means doctor of cause, that we want to find that end solution. So what happens is Miralax works through osmosis. It pulls water into the intestines to soften the stool. That's it. It doesn't improve nerve communication. It doesn't restore gut motility. It doesn't correct the body reason for why it wasn't moving properly in the first place. It doesn't create and help assimilation and then ultimately motility in the gut. It's like pushing the gas pedal while also having the parking brake engaged. It's like fighting against itself. You might get movement, but you're straining and stressing out the system. Digestion is controlled by the autonomic nervous system. You have two branches, sympathetic, which is fight or flight, and parasympathetic, which is rest and digest. So you have the gas pedal and you have the brake pedal. When they're balanced, health is shown. When not, we get stuck. So if your child's nervous system is stuck in stress mode, digestion slows down because you're in survival. Well, if you're in survival, what does digestion have to do with anything? You're trying to survive and make it out of stress. The vagus nerve plays a massive role in gut motility. It's not just functioning, if it's not functioning optimally, the digestive tract simply doesn't coordinate well. It doesn't work. It doesn't balance well. So ask yourself, how many kids today are under stress? How many kids and how many people just in your social circle have had birth trauma and interventions, C-sections, forceps or vacuum deliveries, repeated antibiotic use and early onset medical intervention shortly after birth, environmental stresses, emotional stresses. All of these impact nervous system regulation and balance of that sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous system control. So when you alter normal gut function artificially, especially long-term, you can disrupt this gut-brain connection. This gut-brain communication happens constantly through input from the gut up into the brain through the vagus nerve. So what happens is this gut-brain communication has to be there and has to be balanced. So if the nervous system is already dysregulated and we add chemical stimulation on top of it, some children become more sensitive. It's enough to trigger it. It's enough to be the straw that broke the camel's back. It's enough to overstimulate it. Again, not every child, not every kid. And that's why some are okay and some are a little bit more neurologically vulnerable and imbalanced that leads to this going a little sideways and ultimately outward expression becomes off. In our office, we don't start with medication. We start with the nervous system. We use insight scans to measure stress patterns, sympathetic dominance and control, muscle tension, and nervous system imbalance to get an overall picture and a snapshot of what that nervous system and stress response is doing. So when we see this sympathetic dominance in a child with constipation, that's our clue. That's our indicators. Gentle, neurologically focused adjustments help restore parasympathetic activity. So what happens is the gentle adjustments restore balance by activating the parasympathetics, which then innately reduces sympathetic override. The rest and digest state becomes activated and is able to become balanced. And what's often the first thing we see improved? Bowel motility. Nobody talks about pooping more than us in our office because we get the body back to being able to function. The body finally feels safe enough to function, so literally we're able to eliminate. We're able to work the way we should, and therefore feel better because it all starts to move, motility starts to happen, and everything starts to work the way it's meant to. I've had kids come into our office that have been on Miralax for years, and once we restored nervous system balance, bowel movements normalized, and that became unnecessary. Not because we forced them, but because the body finally became regulated and balanced. Constipation isn't just a digestive issue. It's often a neurological issue at the root cause. And while Miralax can provide temporary relief, it doesn't answer the bigger question. Why is my child's nervous system not coordinating digestion properly? Why are we not having correct motility, absorption, and elimination in the frequency and pattern we're supposed to? It's not that you're doing something wrong. It's not that you're making bad decisions. It just may be that we're addressing things in the wrong order. The foundation has to come first. If your child is struggling with chronic constipation, or if you've noticed changes since starting on Miralax, we'd love to help you explore a root cause approach and get to the foundation to see if the nervous system is the culprit of this. Click on the link in our bio or send us a DM below, and we'd love to see if we can help. Or you can schedule directly with our team here at Maximum Potential Chiropractic. Your child deserves answers, not just temporary relief, and we'd love to see if we can make a difference for you like we have countless families in our office.